A couple moments ago I mentioned two events that caused America's money to become unsound. The first event that I mentioned was the departure from the gold standard. The second event was the creation of the Federal Reserve, which actually happened first. There she is in all of her unglory, although it's a pretty nice building. 1913 was actually a pretty bad year for America. We had just come out of World War I. We had a large war debt, as we normally do coming out of wars. In addition to the Federal Reserve being created, that was when they decided to take money out of our paychecks. We also got the income tax during 1913. But in 1913, the Federal Reserve is created, which is the mechanism, it's the machine, so to speak, the government uses to print so much fiat currency. Now, they don't actually print a lot of it now, and I'm sure there are, in fact, printing presses running, but now it's more so just digits on a computer. Someone is sitting in front of a computer and says, we're going to create more, types out the amount. This is sort of a fictional account, but they essentially hit enter, and they've pumped more money into the economy. It's complicated, but the Federal Reserve basically just creates money whenever it wants to. Since September of 2012, the Federal Reserve has been printing, so to speak, about $85 billion a month. This has been happening through quantitative easing, buying up government bonds essentially, and some other things. But they have not set a time when they will stop. 85 billion, so that you can just picture someone there just typing out once a month, okay, it's September 1st, 85, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, okay, that's billion, enter. And it just enters the economy. Now, of course, this is a simplified way of how it would occur, but remember that debt clock? The debt with all the numbers just running and running and running? Well, that's fueled in large part by us simply just printing that money. That's debt. In other words, we're just creating that money. It's not backed by anything. So that debt clock, that's a good reason why it's going up so fast. And, James, does that sort of help answer your question as to why it's been going down? Because number one, it's not attached to actual gold and productivity. And number two, since 1913, they've just been printing it. Now, there's different rates that they've been printing it, but essentially, when you print up $85 billion worth every month, unless we've somehow magically created $85 billion worth of new productivity, well then that's fiat currency. That's just by decree. So that's going to devalue your money.